Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check today's video out. And guys, today I'm going to show you what my favorite summertime plastic worm is for fishing any situation. I don't care if it's shallow water, deep water, whatever the deal is, grass, wood, clear water, stained water. I absolutely love this worm, guys. I'm going to get into it today and give you guys some tips and advice on how to fish it in the episode. Also, guys, before we get started, a couple quick things here. Just want to invite anybody interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me. All you got to do is go to my Facebook page, Randy Blaukat, Professional Angler, and shoot me a private message. That'd be much appreciated. And also, we have our summer Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns up. Guys, if you want to get some good spots on your favorite lake, both deep water and shallow water spots, please check out one of my lake map breakdowns at Fish the Moment. I'll put the link in the description of this video if you guys like to check one of those out. So really appreciate that. Okay guys, here it is. This is the Zoom. I'm gonna show you what it is and give you guys some tips on it. This is the Zoom Zcraw worm. Now it's very similar to like the size of a Zoom trick worm, except it's a little bit fatter. But the unique thing about it is it's got this Zcraw tail on it right here that comes on the original Zoom Zcraw. And guys, I don't know what it is about it, but in the summertime of the year, when that water gets warmer, bass love this thing. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're fishing 20 foot deep or 2 foot deep. I have caught a ton of fish on it. So I sort of want to give you guys some tips and advice on setting it up and how to rig it and how to modify it a little bit actually in today's episode. Okay guys, now here's my favorite way to rig it as far as terms of when I'm fishing a little bit deeper water. So if I'm fishing deeper water, you know, say I'm fishing ledges or out off a point, you know, fishing a brush pile on some point or a deeper grass bed, really anything deeper than about probably, you know, 8 or 10 foot, I use the full size worm just like this. And I rig it with a 3/0, this is the Gamakatsu G-Finesse nano coated worm hook. And also guys, I'll link all of this, the worm and all the components we're talking about in my tackle warehouse link in the description of this video if you guys would like to get set up with this. Full size worm like this. And most of the time I'm using a 5/16 ounce slip sinker. Tungsten slip sinker here, 5/16 of an ounce when I've got fishing a little bit deeper water. I just really like the way the bait falls with the 5/16 because it falls pretty quick, but then again, it doesn't fall too fast. The tail slows it down a little bit. That 5/16 is really good unless you're fishing like deep water where it's really windy. If it's really windy, you may have to go up to like a 3/8 or something. And then of course, the way I like to rig it with this straight shank hook is I come through, and a lot of times I'll just leave the point sticking out if it's not real, you know, snaggy. But if it's snaggy, I'll just, you know, put it, just the tip, just barely back in it like that. So we've got the setup in this sense here. Now, if I'm fishing shallow cover, say I'm pitching and flipping around docks or shallow wood or, you know, cattails or reeds or lily pads or something like that, for whatever reason, they want the bait a little bit shorter. So I'll come in and I'll pinch it off right there above the egg sac. Just come in like that. And I'm gonna make it down. It's about a 6-inch worm now at this point. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'll use the same 3/0 hook. And I don't know what it is about it. It's just something that I've, you know, learned from experimentation. But in that shallower water, when you're pitching and flipping in the summertime, they like a little bit smaller worm profile. So that's the setup with that. You know, just a nice little compact 6-inch worm. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this setup right here, when you downsize it like that, that is freaking deadly on shallow cover. It doesn't really matter what type of cover you're fishing. They will bite it, unbelievable. I think it's gotta have something to do with the tail. That tail, it displaces some water, it puts out some subtle vibration, and even though it moves water and it slows the bait down, it's subtle, and the fish just really react to it, and they really like it a lot. Now, most of the time I'm fishing it on, you know, I got, you know, most of the time 17 to 20 pound test Seaguar and Vizix fluorocarbon. And if I'm fishing deep or shallow, it doesn't really matter. I'm using the Megabass. I've got the Megabass flipping stick here. I'll link all that stuff in the description. Like I said, 17 to 20 pound test line. Now the colors that I use, there's 2 favorite colors that I use almost regardless of the water visibility. That 420 color right here, I'll use the 420 color if the water visibility is say less than 2 foot. And if the water visibility is greater than 2 foot, I go with green pumpkin. So the 420 is a little bit darker. And I do dye the tail chartreuse on both of them. One of the things you're going to find out about summertime worm fishing is the bass feed heavily on bluegills, and if you put a little bit of chartreuse on the tails of your worms, you get a lot more bites. But this, if you guys want to order something, my Tackle Warehouse link, this is basically the only two colors you need, 420 and green pumpkin. That's covered about every situation. They also make, guys, they make a white one like this, and I use this on a swim jig as a swim jig trailer. I'll just bite it off, just about, like this. Makes a great swim jig trailer. It's a little bit different look with that. But the main thing, guys, quick video, I just wanted to clue you in on this. If you're getting set up for summertime fishing, get you some of these Zoom Zcraw worms, and I think you guys will really like them. Fish just really love them. Seems like to me, anytime that water temperature is over 70 degrees, if your water's between like 70 to 85 degrees or warmer, they just absolutely love that thing. And probably the best situations I've done good in this is shallow wood, flipping it around, stained water, shallow wood, water depth less than 4 foot, water visibility sort of in that foot to 2 foot range. It's just like money if you get that situation. So hope it helps you guys catch a few. We'll talk later.